Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new day to learn how to become better entrepreneurs and leaders in our industry network marketing. The topic of today is how to educate your mind to understand that you too can do it. The video, this is an adaptation by an audio by Guillermo Rodriguez. This is a summary translation of the weekly SEN Training Audios for networkers. This audio is from one of the most impactful conferences post-convention in 2018. SEN's International Diamond, Guillermo Rodriguez, shares with us how to educate your mind to understand that you can achieve success and how, through our network, we can create a powerful socio-economic movement whose goal is to transform the lives of 1 million families by the year 2020. Guillermo starts his presentation by telling us that a leader is a person who serves others. The more we serve, the more our network grows. It is important to celebrate the successes of other people and to make them feel supported. And this is what we are taught at SEN: social contribution, building people. Oftentimes, we act by our conditioned brain to not help other people. And when this happens, we act using our primitive brain that seeks to fulfill its basic needs. Failure to help others is a learned behavior. And just like that, we can learn to become people of service. Today, we are here to learn quality information to decondition our brains. And this is important because if we want to be successful people, successful entrepreneurs, we need to decondition the mindset of failure that we may have into a mindset of success. This video training is intended to help us toward that goal. Guillermo tells us that before joining SEN, he worked for a wealthy company in Panama that built $625 million a year. Of that, he was in charge of $100 million and in charge of more than 60 employees. He was a rich man who didn't listen to others or consider their needs. His way of thinking as an employee was totally different than the thinking he learned and adopted with SEN. He learned to work in a team and, most importantly, learned to empower people so that they too could empower others in the community. He reminds us that some people enter our business and grow fast because they already have developed skills necessary to work in teams and to succeed. If we don't grow fast, it's not because we are bad at what we do. Simply, we still haven't learned the skills we need for success. So if you haven't had successes yet, or your success is slow, don't worry. You know that your success will come as you learn the process of becoming a better leader. We get better and grow in the business as we polish our skills and learn new skills. So we are learning skills as we go. It's important to not give up and to continue polishing those skills. Going back to Guillermo's time as an employee, one day on a Monday, he met his old friend Antonio on the streets of Panama, and he noticed that Antonio was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, unlike him who was wearing a business suit. And like we know, in the business world, if we are employees or if we work, we are supposed, or we think that we are supposed to wear a suit to look professional. So Guillermo thought that Antonio was either sick or had lost his job by the way he was dressing. Antonio told him that he was neither of those two. He, in fact, had become a successful entrepreneur from a project in network marketing he had introduced to Guillermo 2 years ago. Then Guillermo remembered that Antonio had come 2 years ago offering him capsules of a supplement, which are the capsules of our company. Guillermo was in shock to see his friend looking good and feeling with a unique peace of mind he had never seen in Antonio before, a peace of mind that he himself had lost. Guillermo tells us that his job was very demanding. He used to travel for business to El Salvador from Monday to Saturday, and would be home on Sundays to rest. Even though he had money, he didn't have time to enjoy his life and family. In fact, there was nothing that was missing at his home. The only thing missing was himself. Can you imagine being in that position? Being the one that isn't at home, And because you are away from home, your family grows distant from you. That was a situation that Guillermo faced every day. Like him, there are people all over the world who don't have time. So I want you to ask yourself if you are in this position, or if you know people who are in this situation. Guillermo had been indoctrinated in a system to work hard and be a workaholic, like many other people today. Does this sound familiar to you? I want you to take a moment to tell yourself that you came here to educate yourself on a different way to live. You are here to learn that you don't have to work so hard, because today there is a platform that allows you to live life differently. And you can make a change in your life. You have the tools and the opportunity in your hands to change not only your life, but the life of other people. And there is a different way to live. We don't have to kill ourselves working in the traditional system when we know there is a new system that allows us to live life differently and to achieve our dreams. Do you want to be a millionaire? Ask yourself this question. Look within at what you want, at your dreams. Be aware that people who are millionaires educate themselves. So if you want to grow financially, you need to educate yourself. You need to decondition your mind to create new behavior patterns, new thought patterns. Napoleon Hill tells us that people with a negative mind don't have a space for good things. Yet, we can change the situation by putting new information in our brain. That information should be good, positive, and empowering for our growth. With this, we are conditioning our brain for success. Guillermo tells us that after thinking for a few minutes, he told Antonio that he wanted to have the lifestyle of his friend. He didn't have time, and that was the most valuable thing he wanted to get back. I need to be in the business, he said. Antonio, as a good businessman who values his time, told Guillermo that he only had 5 minutes to talk to him, no more than that. So if Guillermo was serious about joining the business, he could spare some time for Guillermo. Attention, listeners. If you need to value your time. If you don't value it, others won't do it. You are the first person to determine how worthy you are and how worthy your time is. Just like the example of Antonio, who told Guillermo, I only have 5 minutes for you. He wasn't sure if Guillermo actually wanted to join the business, so he made his time valuable. That way, Guillermo would take Antonio seriously. In the same way, we need to take the example of Antonio and make our time worth it, and to show others that our time is worth it. They immediately went to a cafe, and Antonio gave him the business opportunity presentation and made an action plan of 2 to 5 years to be financially free. And also they ended up staying more than 5 minutes talking. Guillermo tells us that he used to work 14 hours a day. And why 14 hours? Because the hours that we used to get ready to work, commute, come back, and relax are all part of the time we dedicate to work. Therefore, even though we may officially work 8 hours a day and only get paid for those hours, we are using more hours for work that are unpaid. How many hours do you work a day? Have you ever thought about that? How many hours, and what is the time that you are putting from the time that you wake up in the morning, get ready for work, have breakfast, commute to work, then come back home? Does somebody pay you for the extra hours you put in for work? It is important to be aware of the extra hours we use to get ready for work and assign value to them. Because if you don't assign value, nobody else will assign value to them. Only you determine how worth it your time is. Guillermo tells us that Antonio asked him, how would it be like to work only 2 hours a day instead of the normal 14 hours? And Guillermo was thrilled. Of course, he said, there was nothing more important to him than to have time to be with his family. After that, he signed a contract to be an entrepreneur. That's the same contract that every one of us has signed at some point somewhere in the world. When he came back home, he told his wife that he had found a project that would allow him to be more time at home. And his wife, wary at first, asked questions to make sure that it wasn't another project that would make him be more distant to his family than what he already was. Let's remember that he was away from home 6 days a week. It must have been hard for his wife and kids to have that situation at home. And he explained to her what the project was about, and then when she was convinced that this project was worth it, she told him that he could count with her full support. Guillermo tells us that he was lucky to count with the support of his wife because she was an inspiration to grow fast. Guillermo tells us that our project is a personal challenge that each one of us must face. Obstacles get in our way to help us grow and polish our skills. Each stage on the road helps us to face the next bigger challenge and have more wisdom and knowledge to be successful. Because of that reason, it's important that we don't feel impatient to jump at stages. We need to learn to pass each stage, and by doing that, we have a smooth and exponential growth. If we remember at the beginning of the audio, we talked about the importance of being in the present, of learning skills. And when we learn the skills for success, we start growing. And that's the same thing that we are doing here. So it's important that we don't jump up stages. It's like dancing salsa. When we learn salsa 1, we are learning the steps little by little. But then what happens when we jump up to salsa 3 or salsa 4? We will feel lost because we haven't gone through salsa 2 to be able to follow up what is taught in salsa 3. The same thing happens here. So that's why it's important to be patient and take each step one at a time. Our business allows us to work online from anywhere and anytime. We are using the power of the era of connectivity by reaching out to high numbers of people we never imagined before. However, we must remember that relationships stem from human contact and human touch. Relationships are more powerful when we cultivate them in person, and that's why we have meetings at home, because people feel the connection when we are in person with them. Guillermo tells us that thanks to the power of network marketing and the internet, after he retired from his traditional job and became a full-time entrepreneur, he took a 2-month vacation where he didn't work and spent every day with his kids. And regardless of this, his income kept increasing every day, even though he wasn't working. That situation would have never happened in a traditional job. If he didn't work, he wouldn't get paid. The same with us. In a traditional job, if we don't work, we don't get paid. So, do you see the potential of a residual income? Guillermo tells us that after 1 year and 3 months of being a part-time networker, he went up to his boss at his full-time job and presented his resignation letter. His boss was in shock because Guillermo was one of the top employees and received a really good salary. He assumed somebody had offered a higher salary to Guillermo and asked who it was. Nobody's offering me another salary, Guillermo said. He then told his boss that today marks the day that he's no longer an employee and becomes a full-time entrepreneur. The same way that he did, I ask you, have you put a date in your calendar to determine that that's the last day that you are an employee? I challenge you to find that date, because when you do that, you know that you're going to work for that day to become a reality. Guillermo reminds us that having an online business like ours in this century is easy. You can do it anywhere and there are no limitations. The only limitations are the ones that you put in your mind. We need to be aware that the world is changing and the way to generate an income is also changing. Technology is taking over jobs that humans do. And in our project, we take advantage of the changing technology. We work toward expanding our network and allowing our communities to grow. We wake up the dreams of families so that they start living a different and better lifestyle. Our business is done at homes where we can talk to people as family. It's important to follow a system that has been proven successful, as is the case of SEN, which was founded in 2000. We have more than 18 years of work. So why reinvent the wheel when it already exists? Take advantage of SEN's educational system that has more than 18 years of success. Guillermo reminds us that to grow, we must put fear aside and share the opportunity we have in our hands. Remember that in this life, everything is a sale. If you don't sell, you don't grow. Even when we look for a job, we are selling ourselves. Don't be afraid of selling this opportunity. You can change the lives of so many people by putting your head up and believing in yourself. If you want to have a different lifestyle, you have to sell. There is no other way around. Selling includes relationships, making jokes, sharing with people, among others. Everything that you do in your way to developing and growing your business is part of a selling process. As a side note, Guillermo tells us that our results are the results from our mentality. Our mind is composed of the conscious and the unconscious. When we sleep, our unconscious controls 97% of our mind. Did you know that? And this is why it's so important to learn to decondition our minds from failure and condition them for success. For Life offers the best compensation plan in the industry of network marketing. And for that reason, we are not just another multi-level marketing company. We are a business that is changing people's lives with the different compensation plans that we have. We get paid for levels 1 to 3, which is what is known as multi-level pay. And after that, we get a generational bonus. Be aware that other network marketing companies pay a generational bonus at all levels, which doesn't increase by having a downline. Our company offers bonuses and a residual income. 80% of members in our organization are small entrepreneurs who may earn between $200 to $300 each month. In this 80%, we have new associates. We also have people who don't take time for the network or people who feel comfortable with the money that they earn, and people who are growing. For Life is aware that not everybody has high levels of success at the beginning, so they have quick bonuses for us to promote our growth. Let's remember that the first initial levels in the company are associate, builder, which was formerly known as leader, and qualified diamond. We get 25% of the first purchase of new associates, as well as 25% from the purchase of customers. Guillermo tells us that we should program our mind to work today to have results today. If we program our mind to grow in a year, our growth will be slow. On the other hand, if our vision is to be successful today, our growth will be faster. To grow, we need to have new associates and customers in our organization. And we know that every point adds up in our business. So if you have a new customer who wants to do a purchase of 50 points, encourage them to do so. If they want to purchase 400 points, encourage them as well. Welcome all people and all purchases because we get paid based on the volume of our organization. Our business also gets stronger when we expand it internationally. And we have the business in more than 120 countries. We have a big advantage here. At the convention, Guillermo takes some time to ask people in the audience what is the minimum wage in New Jersey. And people tell him that it's $1,200 a month. After taxes, it's about $800. If we subtract the cost of gas to go to work, return home, food that we eat when we work, and work clothes, our leftover salary is $500. And we are not even considering our major expenses, like rent. Can somebody live comfortably with $500? And I ask you, do you live comfortably with your salary? How much is our effort worth it? Let's remember that we are the ones who assign value to our time and effort. If we want to live comfortably, we need to make our time valuable. When we talk to people about the reality, as we saw the case of the minimum wage in New Jersey, it's important to put ourselves in the shoes of the other person and to make them feel that we care about them. We have the potential to make people dream big when we side with them and show that the reality can change with our opportunity. We are here to open people's eyes. When we make somebody realize that their time to get ready for work and what we do after work related to work is not paid, and that the salary that we use also goes toward expenses for work, we are making people realize that the pay that they are receiving may not always be fair, and there is an opportunity for them to grow bigger. And we must do it with compassion, by making them feel that we care about them. Earning more is easy with our business. Let's consider the builder bonus of me and my 3. When we have 3 people in the business, we instantly get $50. Plus the residual income, we are getting $56. Then, when those people get 3 people each, our income becomes $436. And we can even do this in 2 days. You can take 2 full days to go out and talk to people. And at the end of the day, you could be earning $436. How amazing would it be? Maybe you could take a weekend out and do this. And then, when people in your second level get 3 people each, you're making $1,166. That is more than what we have left from our most direct expenses at a traditional job, which in the example above was $500. Remember this. Your financial results are the result of your mentality. Do you remember how much we earn in our first level when we are diamonds? 2% from the first 100 points and 2% from the surplus. Now, how much do we earn from the second level? 25% from the first 100 points and 5% from the surplus. Now, I have an important question for you. And I'm asking you because not many people are aware of this. How much does a builder earn in the first level? A builder is the second position in the company. The builder earns 2% from the first 100 points and 0% from the surplus. Were you aware of that? We are not earning anything from the surplus. For that reason, it's of most importance that we work to qualify as diamonds quickly. Guillermo tells us that after being in the business for 1 year and 1 month, he qualified as a presidential diamond. He had been earning $800 as a diamond, and when he reached the presidential position, his income jumped up to $2,358. That's more than 2 times what he was earning before. The higher we are in the company, the higher our returns. Another amazing aspect of our business is the dynamic compression in the compensation plan. If somebody in our downline is not active 1 month, the person above will get paid for all the people below. Therefore, no points or money are lost in the downline network. Guillermo tells us that 7 years ago, before joining our business, his way of thinking was different and had very different values. Then, his mentality changed for the better. He tells us that it's important to be aware that network marketing doesn't change our mentality. No. What changes our mentality is the action that we take for our growth. Our price comes with the effort we take to grow. And if you have the courage today to work for your dreams, the prize will come to you. We all have the potential to go far, but it's your personal decision to take that path. Thank you, everybody, and have a successful day.